Hello, welcome to week 4, the final week of July's reading vlogs. Got a couple of new dresses on. You'll know that I've been, welcome to the reading vlog, there will be more on reading later. You'll know that I've been reducing my spending every month and only allowing myself one treat a month. Well, the treat this month was 2 dresses. It was one spend on one website, but 2 dresses. From the Jodie Clothing with Dorno Porter collaboration, Dorno Porter style. Very into it, sort of like vintagey, lots of caftans, big prints, sort of 70s. I've always liked the way she dresses. And when I saw that she was doing a collaboration with Jodie, I thought, can't believe she's done one already, to be honest. So this is Dream, this is because David's listening to all my life, we're changing every day. That's why I said dream. Yeah, so this is dress number 1, square neck. It's 3/4 length. No, it's midi rather than maxi. Bright print. I've got it in size 18 because there's no. So in the other dress, you'll see they've got like Jodie Clothing are quite good for sort of like hidden things to make things fit better for you. So little elasticated panels or little secret buttons and stuff like that. But that had none of this, so I got it in 18. I think I'm somewhere. I'll probably be a 17 in this dress because there's plenty of room in there, which is nice because it's hot. But it's still a little bit roomy. I think a 16 might have been not roomy enough. So this is number 1 option. Both dresses I'll wear with yellow saltwater sandals. Oh, we're going out tonight. Imagine. We're going to watch our friend's band's album launch party. So we're going that on a Saturday night, imagine. Let me go and put the other dress on. And then we can decide together. But this is lovely, isn't it? I love the green on it. All of these I don't know if you can see, but all of this background colour is green rather than black. Lovely. I'll go and put the other one on. Let's see if I can do it like this. This dress, I love. Look at the sleeves on it. I feel so 70s. The print is amazing. It's sort of like, it's similar to another dress that I've got that's in this sort of like muted tones. Floral print is the other one I've got. But this one's more sort of like, it's got stars and like a real sort of 70s pattern. It's very long. But honestly, I put it on and I just was like, wow, I feel great in this. So yeah, this is the one that's got like, as you can see there, an elasticated panel, which is so good for like allowing for weight fluctuation, which I get a lot of. But these sleeves are amazing, aren't they? So yeah, this is the dress I'm gonna wear tonight. It's actually made me think maybe I don't like the other dress as much as I thought. Will I return the other dress? This one is definitely staying. It's amazing. Don't know whether to return the other one. I'll have to try it on again tomorrow and see how I feel, but yeah, this is great. I just love it. So reading, I've been carrying on. Let me get the book I'm reading. Hold on. I'm just sweeping around in this like it's the best thing I've ever worn. So at the moment I'm reading Notes on an Execution by Daniel Kukufka. Now I am very much enjoying this. I'm almost 2/3 of the way through, over 2/3 of the way through. Very gripping about a man who's on death row, waiting for his execution, and going back and revisiting his life through 3 females from his past, his mother, his wife's twin sister, and a woman that he was at a foster home with who has now become a police captain. Very gripping, very gutty. Truth be told, after David and I have gone out tonight, he's got to head up straight to London to go to, he's filming the Race for Life at Hyde Park tomorrow. So I'm going to be on my own. Now, I'm not that much of a wimpy, but a story about men who are murdering women might not be my bestest thing to read tonight. So I might pick this up tonight when I get home, because we're not staying super late, but I might pick something else up. I'm also listening to the audiobook of, and I've got probably about an hour left. Actually, I might even finish that on the way home from dropping David off at the train station. Kay's Marvellous Medicine, which is written by Adam Kay, who wrote This Is Going to Hurt. It's his children's book. I haven't loved it. It's very sort of like reminiscent of horrible histories and that sort of thing, but now I am not that audience. I'm just finding it very childish, but I am not a child, so I am aware. There's also Jan Ravens does a sort of like voice over of it, like over the top. So Adam Kay is narrating it, and at some points I think, does he even know this is cringe? Like, the way he's delivering stuff. Jan Ravens is also sort of like playing his great aunt and sort of like talking over things and being like, oh, I'm gonna leave you out the well, and like talking in this really mad voice. There's so much poo, wee and pus and blood in it as well. Yeah, I think if you're a child, you will love this. I've only got an hour left, so I'm gonna listen to it. So I'll probably finish that off tonight. Whether or not when I get home I start on this, or whether or not I start something else, on my next plans list is Do Not Say We Have Nothing, because it's my, so tomorrow, a week tomorrow is my Patreon book club, and I need to have this read by next Sunday, so a week tomorrow, which is 466 pages. So that's quite a lot of reading, and it's pretty small font as well, so I definitely need to start that tomorrow, if not tonight. So yeah, I guess that's where I would go next. The only other thing is I got sent a lot of Jamaica Kincaid books in the last vlog you might have seen. And they're all, oh, Minnie's being so cute, look at her just sprawling out here. You alright, gorgeous? Some of them are quite thin, but realistically, I should be starting on this. I also, when I get home tonight, I might watch Persuasion. I don't know, but I might. Because it's not going to be a super late one. I might get home and watch Persuasion, who knows? Can't stop doing that with these bloody sleeves. So yeah, anyway, better go make some better put some makeup on. See if I can film a bit of the old band playing. And mine is what is that? It's a sticker, probably from this dress. Yeah, I'll probably film a bit of the band tonight. Me and David out and about in the town, imagine. And yeah, I guess I'll see you tomorrow if I don't see you before. You know when you look at yourself the next morning and you realise you didn't take all your makeup off? That's what's happening now. This isn't my bed, you might recognise. I'm at my mum and dad's house. I stayed here last night. It's lovely with the window open all night. Just basking in the breeze. And I've just woken up, my mum's just put me in a cup of tea. Nice. I think I'm going to go downstairs and have some Marmite and toast. And do a bit of reading, and I'm going to read in their garden and do my initial thoughts for my Patreon book, Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeline Tien. my throat hasn't kicked in yet, has it? So I'm going to do that, and then David's working in London, as I said, until midday, and dependent on whether or not he have to take the equipment he's been using to film back to the office, he might be finished by 1, he might be finished by 3. You know. But this is nice. I was very normally I moan about this spare bed and how uncomfortable it is, but it actually was quite comfortable last night. I think I'll go downstairs. I thought I'd do a little garden check-in, seeing as I showed you it all a couple of weeks ago, but it's absolutely thriving now. So my dad's doing the hoovering on a Sunday morning. Loads of tomatoes. I'm going to eat a tomato. I'll just brush my teeth. Maybe I won't eat a tomato right now, but I'll show you what we've got. So I don't think the old gladioli were out last time, which is lovely. Look, all over the place. More pumpkin action. I don't know what he's going to do with this. It's getting a bit out of control. Then these are supposed to be orange tomatoes. So look, they're coming along nicely. My niece sometimes has a few, so they've managed to keep. These are going to be red, but they haven't turned yet. Apple tree, more courgettes, loads. Look at that massive yellow courgette. Look at it. Absolutely massive. Then sunflowers, which weren't happening last time. These have had bees on all morning, which is very exciting. More tomatoes and cucumbers in there, big fat cucumbers. Alliums with a bumblebee on. Oh, gone. More sunflowers, lots to come out. Pear tree, nothing on the pear tree yet. Then more gladioli over here. And I don't know what's behind that the dog's excited about. Look at this pumpkin, it's got absolutely... I mean, I don't even know what he's going to do about that. I need to ask him. Because surely it can't stay that big. because I thought pumpkin plants only had one pumpkin, but maybe I'm wrong. And then we go into here where the dog's not allowed. You're not allowed. No, it's for me only. You have to stay in here because you go in the beds, and that's naughty. No. More green beans. We ate green beans in our sweet and sour on Friday from this here patch. What are you doing about your pumpkins? They've gone mad. Can you leave them that big?
Yeah, I'll have to.
Oh.
Until I get one that's growing big, and then I'll cut the rest back.
Oh, okay. There he is. Back to do his chores. Potatoes. I don't know if he's dug up any potatoes yet. The sweet peas, which were just little plants last time, they've got full peas on them now. And in fact, I'm going to find a pod and eat some. This one looks good, doesn't it? I'll have one of those. Growing some wood there. The peppers he doesn't think are going to happen this year because there's no peppers. Aubergine, flowers, but no fruit as yet. Oh, I've had a beetroot. I haven't eaten the beetroot yet. But my mum claims that the beetroot's a bit bitter. And I had a big carrot as well. Let's see what this carrot's doing. Oh yeah, not too bad. So there's my snacks. I'm going to go and read now. If the dog doesn't bark. And I'm going to sit in this here shady patch. Although I think we're running out of shade because it's almost midday. This is always quite shady, this bit there. Maybe I'll sit there. But yeah, these will be eaten. I'm literally chasing the shade around my mum and dad's garden. I was sat over there in about 30 centimetres of shade, but we've got to the point where my whole body doesn't fit in that shade anymore. So I've moved over here onto a chair. But I've just finished Notes on an Execution by Danya Kakufta. Yeah, I thought it was fine. The dog's in the flowers. My dad's going to do his nut. I thought it was... Yeah, I thought I was going to be a lot... Well, it was on my 5-star predictions for this year, so I thought I was going to enjoy it a lot more than I did. I didn't find myself sort of glued to it, and maybe I thought because it was a thriller, I would be sort of like page-turnery and stuff like that. And in some ways, I did get it done. I did read it quite quickly. Albus, get out the bush! He's naughty. But I found the writing style quite detached, which I also think maybe fits in with the storyline. So the storyline is that we're counting down to the execution of somebody on death row who's killed women in his past. And we're learning about that through 3 different women who are sort of attached to these women that have been murdered. And yeah, I just found the whole thing a bit detached. I thought it was... Yeah, I guess I just thought it was fine. I just feel a bit perplexed because I thought I was really going to love it. Anyway, I'm about to film. I don't know how I'm going to do it because the lighting's mad. My initial thoughts of Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeline Tien for my Patreon book club. I've got to have this read by this time next week. It's Patreon book club on Sunday. So the day you're watching it is Patreon book club. So, and it's pretty chunky. So I also need to work out how many pages I need to have read because I've got to get this read. It's 463 pages and I need to have read it by... well, early, like Sunday morning really, because then I want to write the questions for it and everything. So I'm going to read the first chapter now and do my initial thoughts. I haven't heard from David yet if he's finished work, which is why I'm still at my parents', because I think I'll go and get him from the train station and then go home. I don't know what we're doing for dinner. I'd quite like to watch Persuasion tonight. I said I was going to watch it last night, didn't I? And I'd also quite like to watch Passing, which is a film adaptation of Nella Larson's book, which has got Tessa Thompson in. And I haven't really stopped thinking about Tessa Thompson since I watched Thor earlier this week. So maybe I'll watch that. But yeah, let's film my initial thoughts of Do Not Say We Have Nothing. Hi! This is what we do with my niece when we're being cute. Cute! It's Monday, happy Monday. In office today. Very busy days for both David and myself. David said he was going to do some washing today. He hasn't even had a chance to do any washing. Oh, sorry, that was my foot. And I've been bit on my foot and I can't stop fucking itching it. It's really itchy. Yeah, Monday today, busy day at work. My computer system that I rely very heavily on, I didn't get into that until 10 o'clock. So my day didn't even really start until 10 o'clock, which... I mean, I did other jobs before, but there's only so much sort of like opening envelopes and stuff that you can't... I feel like I'm really out of focus. There we go. Before you need the system. So yeah, so busy day today. Busy day for David. Didn't get to do any washing. But I did manage to, on the way home from work, pop into my library and pick up the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books that I had waiting there for me, which is very exciting. But David's picking my TBR in August, and I doubt I'm going to get through these 10 books. Okay, 10 of them, but one of them is a cookbook, so I thought I'd show you these. David and I have plans tonight. I'm going to have to itch my foot again. David and I have plans tonight to go down to the beach and take our dinner down there. I'm going to do corn chicken nuggets. I'm making a potato salad and then a bit of salad, and we'll go down there and sit on a blanket and read. However, what was the word you used, David? Oh, blustery. He said it's very blustery, and I mean, I'm looking out the window, it doesn't look blustery at all, but it has been a little bit on and off windy, and actually as I pulled around the corner, it was raining a little bit, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, it's not cool by any measure. So yeah, we're gonna be going down there. So that might just be montage gear, because if it is windy, no one wants to listen to this. While you're... I've worn myself out while you're watching me and David read on the beach. So, the 10 books I got out from the library, they're about to topple as we speak. Bake by Paul Hollywood. These are the best ever recipes for the classics. I didn't think I'd ever buy this book, so I thought I'd get it out. I mean, that's always good to know, isn't it? Because cookbooks, I mean, you've seen all of my cookbooks. Cookbooks do have a habit, don't they, of relinquishing on your shelves and not really doing much. So I thought getting cookbooks out from the library, particularly brand new ones that you don't know if you're going to cook from, is the right idea. I'm not a very good baker. I wish I was. It's mad that I'm not, because I follow a recipe very, very well. I get very good results from cookbooks. But baking, I've just never been very good at it, have I, David?
Over?
I've just never been very good at baking, have I?
Yeah, no, not really.
No, David's more of a baker. But yeah, so this has got lots of different bits in, and I thought it was worth it. I mean, to be honest, I listened to him on the Off Menu podcast and I thought it sounded good. Oat biscuits, which are, by the way, my favourite type of biscuit. There's a whole section of biscuits. I saw a focaccia that I was quite excited about, hot cross buns. It all looks quite labour intensive. Cream jam, donuts, pizza. Oh, David, you'll have to try this pizza base.
Pizza base?
Yeah, he's got a different pizza base recipe.
Who's this?
Pardon?
Who's that?
Paul Hollywood, although it's a starter one. It's a sourdough one. David's about to throw our sourdough starter out. I saw it on the shelf, on the side. Olive sticks with manchego, I'd eat those. So yeah, good idea. We'll have a browse through that. I definitely will make something out of this. Maybe I'll make it this, yeah, do you know what? I will make something out of this week for you to see how my baking skills are not up to scratch. And yeah, I'll do that on Thursday or maybe even Friday. Then I've got The Rose and the Yew Tree by Agatha Christie, who is writing as Mary Westmacott. Now, you will have to forgive me because some of these books, I won't know why I've got them out from the library. Whenever I listen to podcasts or watch YouTube, I always have a tab open with my library like website on and request books as I go. However, this book I do know where it come from. This is recently discussed in a Good Read podcast, which is a BBC4 podcast that I very much enjoy, where the host gets on 2 other people. They all suggest a book, they discuss them and talk about them. The podcast's done in less than 30 minutes, so it's very sort of like sharp, just observations on these books that they've picked. This is The Rose and the Yew Tree, a book that Agatha Christie wrote under another name. And it says, everyone expected Isabella Charteris, sheltered and aristocratic, to marry Rupert St. Loup when he came back from the war. She had known Rupert since childhood. He was handsome, strong and deeply in love with her. It would have been such a suitable marriage. They were a perfect match. How strange then that war hero and politician John Gabriel should appear in her life. Nobody expected Isabel to fall for him. John was Rupert's opposite, a man of ruthless ambition and overwhelming appetites. From the moment they met, Isabella knew John would gladly destroy her, yet she could not resist him. And also, it's from the large print section, which is great because it means I can read it in the bath, although who's bathing in this weather without my sunglasses on, without my glasses on. I've also got Celestial Bodies, also from the large print section, by Jokha Al-Hati. I think I saw this on Eric's channel. Anyway, it was the winner of the Man Booker Prize in 2019. Celestial Bodies is set in the village of Al Awafi in Oman, where we encounter three sisters: Maya, who marries Abdullah after a heartbreak; Asma, who marries from a sense of duty; and Kalwa, who rejects all offers while waiting for her beloved, who has emigrated to Canada. These three women and their families witness Oman evolve from a traditional slave-owning society, slowly redefining itself in the colonial era, to the crossroads of its complex present. Elegantly structured and taught, Celestial Bodies is a coiled spring of a novel, telling of Oman's coming of age through the prism of one's family's losses and loves. Sounds great, doesn't it? Short story collection, Milk, Blood, Heat by Dantiel W. Moniz. Where did I see this? Maybe Mercedes channel? I've sat in the wrong place, haven't I? Because I can't hold it like this. A 13-year-old girl watches her white best friend totter along the edge of a building roof. A woman who lost her child in its first trimester finds empathy and horror in the waters of a city aquarium. A mother protects her teen daughter from a predatory love interest by taking revenge over a very French supper. And two estranged siblings take a road trip with their dead father's ashes, rediscovering one another and beckoning with all the ways that trust can be betrayed and love can be redeemed. Yeah, there we go. Then I've got Black Cake, which I've got out from the library before, but didn't get around to reading it. I think when I got it out before, it only had a 2-week reservation on it, and I didn't get it back in time. This is by Charmaine Wilkerson. Eleanor Bennett won't let her own death get in the way of the truth, so when her estranged children, Byron and Benny, reunite for a funeral in California, they discover a puzzling inheritance. First, a voice recording in which everything Byron and Benny ever knew about their family is upended. Their mother tells a tumultuous story about a headstrong young woman who escapes her island home under suspicion of murder, a story which cuts right to the heart of the rift that separated Byron and Benny. Second, your traditional Caribbean black cake, a family recipe with a long history which Eleanor hopes will heal the wounds of the past. Can Byron and Benny fulfill their mother's final request to share the black cake when the time is right? Will Eleanor's revelations bring them back together or leave them feeling more alone than ever? So it's like a family epic, spans 60 years, crossing continents and juggling lives. Yeah, great. Now this I did hear about on Mercedes' channel. So Mercedes was talking about books to read at the summer, and this came up. Little Friend, The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. I've read The Secret History, I've read The Goldfinch, both of which I enjoyed. In fact, I'm actually going to reread The Secret History at some point. And I've always meant to read the Little Friend as well. I didn't realise how fucking massive it was. This is massive. God, it's like over 500 pages. So yeah, I would like to read that. I don't know what it's about. I mean, it's a really long blurb. I imagine it's a bit like a sort of Lifetime in the same way that the Goldfinch is. But yeah, that's on there too. Now we get into the bit. Some of these will be from on the coming in section from the library as well. Light Seekers by Femi Kiyodi. They already know who killed the men. What they don't know is why. When 3 students are brutally murdered in a Nigerian university town, their killings and their killers are caught on social media. The world knows who murdered them. What no one knows is why. This is interesting, isn't it? I haven't heard from this point of view. As the legal trial begins, investigative psychologist Philip Taiwo is contacted by the father of one of the boys, desperate for answers to his son's murder. But Philip is an expert in crowd behaviour and violence, not a detective. After travelling to the sleepy town that bore witness to the horror, he soon realises that someone really doesn't want him there and will do anything to protect him from learning the truth. That sounds really good. Then I've got Be Yourself and Happier, the A to Z of Wellbeing by lovely Will Young, who I think if we met in real life, we'd be definite friends. Will Young has, I've read a few of his books, his autobiography when he was a pop star. He is a pop star in the UK, if you're not aware of him. And more recently he wrote a memoir called How to Be a Gay Man, talking about his experiences with being gay and shame related to being gay and being shamed in relation to being gay. And he has suffered with a lot of mental health issues, including PTSD and things like that, and he's very much a sort of advocate for well-being and stuff like that, which is what this book, I imagine, is about. And it's about the A to Z of well-being. So yeah, I will search my way through that. This book I've got out, this is the second time I've got it out, Legendborn by Tracy Dion. Now you'll probably think, God, we never see any like fantasy or epic fantasy on this channel because I don't really read much of it, but this came up earlier this year. God, that is small font. Look at the small font on that. This came up earlier this year and I got it out from the library and I renewed it and renewed it and renewed it 4 times because you can only renewed it and renewed it. You can only renew things 4 times, and then it had to go back. And then recently I've seen it mentioned again on somebody else's channel, This is supposed to be fantastic, and it's about 16-year-old Bree Matthews, whose mother dies in an accident, and she wants to escape. She goes to a residential programme for bright high schoolers. Seems like the perfect opportunity until she witnesses a magical attack her very first night on campus. So yeah, and then she's got magical powers and things like that. I should read it, I should. And then the last one I've got is A Crooked Tree by Una Manion. Rage. That's the feeling engulfing the car as Ellen's mother swerves over to the hard shoulder and orders her daughter out onto the roadside. Ignoring the protest of her other children, she accelerates away, leaving Ellen standing on the gravel verge in her school pinafore and knee socks as the light fades. And then this is about her like just driving off and leaving her daughter in the middle of nowhere. I can remember so vividly someone talking about this on their channel, but I cannot remember who that person was. So there we go. So those are the 10 books I've got out. As I said, the plan for tonight is to go down to the beach and have a little read and a bit of dinner. I have started reading Do Not Say We Have Nothing. I think I left you when I was about to pick this up. So I'm now on page 88. It's long. It's 466 pages, so I've still got just under 400 pages to go. From this point onwards, if you are a Patreon member of mine, because this video will probably be going up Sunday morning and we'll be talking about this Sunday afternoon, I'm going to talk now about my initial thoughts, which you would have already seen in the initial thoughts video, but going forward, if you don't want to be spoiled for the discussion, because I know some of you don't, then I would swerve the end of this video until after we've done Patreon book club tonight. But my initial thoughts were that the first chapter, I was very much enjoying it. I like hearing about languages and communication and things like that. And one of the things I really enjoyed was hearing about the Chinese language and what it looks like when it's written down. And the instance I gave in the initial thoughts video, and I'll give here, is the Chinese sign for gate, which is like a forwards P and a backwards P with maybe a line through it. That means gate. So if there's a horse inside the gate, they would include the symbol for horse inside that. And that just feels so cool to me. And like, I'd love reading about things like that. There's also quite a lot in here about music and stuff like that. And we learn early doors that Marie and her mother, after the death of Marie's father, invite a guest into their house, A Ming. And she has fled China. They live in Canada, and she's fled China after the Tiananmen Square atrocities, which I know little to nothing about, so I'll be learning more about that as it goes. And A Ming is telling the story of her family through different musicians, so I think music is going to feature quite heavily in this. I've read on a little bit more since yesterday, and yeah, it's going well. Well, I was discussing this with my volunteer today, and I was saying, because I'm not a musical person, first of all, and I don't know anything about music, some of the musical stuff is going a little bit over my head. And also, because I know, as I said, I would even say little to nothing, I would say nothing about Chinese history, I haven't got any sort of like reference points or things that I know definitely happened that I can relate that bit to and think like that. So I think as it goes on, I will definitely learn more and get to know more, but at the moment it's just finding a footing for all of these sort of recent historical, because we're only going as far back as the 60s, recent historical points. So yeah, like I said, history in the UK is shit. So for me to know about history in any other countries, it's going to be even shitter than my knowledge of history of the UK. So yeah, that's the plans. But like I said, if you don't want to be spoiled, there's a chance that I might not give any spoilers, but just know going forward, be trepidatious. Anyway, I've chatted for 14 minutes about books. I suppose we better go down to the beach, or I better cook those corn chicken nuggets first, actually. Yeah. It unfurl. Oh, it looks so
I'm surprised you're showing it.
So we've got a nice salad, potato salad, corn chicken nuggets, and then this is a series of leftover dips that, to be honest, I'm probably most excited about. And David's there being cute. And this is our view. That was lovely, wasn't it, David? Whenever I do it, I always think, why don't we do this more? David even bought a pillow with him. Are you pleased with what you pillow?
I'm very pleased.
We're gonna have a little read now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little lie down.
Well, you already are. I want to lie down before the read.
Yeah, a little preamble lie down.
I've got pages to meet this week, and I'm only on page 88. Today I've got to get to page 143, so I've got a lot to do. There's some dark clouds incoming, so we think we're going to have to make a move soon. What do you reckon? I think a little bit longer we've got. I'll read a little bit more of my book, but yeah. Clouds. Hello! Welcome to Thursday. Just finished work. So nice when you work from home, isn't it? And then you can just... By the way, the washing machine's on, so that's what's the noise you can make. But it's homely, isn't it, that noise? Isn't it nice when you work from home and you finish at 4 and literally you can just crack on with the evening's events? The evening's events are that my 2 friends are coming round for dinner tonight. I'm doing quiche and potatoes and some salads and stuff. But I am making something out of the Paul Hollywood bake book that I promised I would make something out of. Got this out from the library earlier this week, you've probably seen. And I've decided I'm going to make these blondies. Look at those guys. Now, I'm not the bestest baker, but if I can't follow a recipe by Paul Hollywood and get it right, then what hope is there for me? So I'm currently just working my way through this bag of pistachios because I need 150 grams of pistachios. 100, not that one though, because that one's black inside. 100 grams to go inside it, and 50 grams to decorate. So yeah, so I'm just doing that, and I'm listening to my audiobook. I'm listening to These Streets by Goldie. I'm on the last 45 minutes. I quite enjoyed it, you know, guys. It's a sort of community story about Stratford in East London, and a woman that lives there. It's told from 2 perspectives. A woman that lives there called Jess and her 2 kids, and a man that's recently moved back there following the breakdown of his marriage, and those 2 sort of getting to know each other, and there being background stuff with Jess's brother and Ben, that's the guy, the involvement he had with his brother when he was at school, and sort of like how, well, bullying, how that lasts into adulthood and stuff. And yeah, like Jess has been, there's a lot in there about gentrification. So Jess's house is now, the person who's been renting it out to her wants to sell it because you can get a lot of money for houses in East London now, particularly that area, since they did it all up for the Olympics. And yeah, it's just been really I've really enjoyed it. Luann Goldie is also the author of Nightingale Point. I really hope you can hear me over that noise, I'm sure you can. Which was longlisted for the Women's Prize a couple of years ago. And I read then, and that's set in a tower block, and a sort of one day in a tower block and something horrific that happens. But yeah, I've been very much enjoying it, so I'm going to carry on listening to that. I imagine I'll get that listened to in time for when I've finished shelling all of these. I'm only 12 grams into the 50 grams that I need to do, and I'm trying to get this, so like, not only am I shelling them, I'm trying to get that brown bit off as well, because it'll be much nicer if the ones that are decorating are lovely and green, you know, like that pistachio green that you get for pistachio ice cream, that sort of thing. So yeah, Dave, speaking of the Olympics, it was 10 years today since the opening ceremony of the Olympics, and David's gone to the Olympic Park because they're putting on some stuff there. He's gone to watch that tonight, so he'll be back a little bit later. So yeah, that's what's been going on. And then once I finished listening to These Streets, I realised I had 2 hours left of oh god, I've forgotten what it's called, Monica Ali's book, Love Marriage. I've done a lot of starting audiobooks and not quite finishing them off recently, so that I've got 2 hours of. So once that's done, if I'm still cooking, they're coming around about 7:30, so how long have I got? 3 hours, a bit longer. I'll probably listen to that as well. And I've still got to carry on reading these Do Not Say We Have Nothing, which, guys, I haven't been loving, sadly. So it's a book about the history of China, which I know little to nothing about, as I've previously said, and it's told from the perspective of 3 musicians, and I've not a musical bone in my body, so I'm finding it really hard to sort of find a point of reference or just something even to grab hold of. And the flitting, well, like, yeah, I found it quite difficult to compute, I guess, just to know who's who and what's happening and who's related to who and stuff like that. Yeah, I found it a bit complex, I think, basically, so I haven't loved it. It has sort of picked up a bit the last 100 pages or so. I read a bit on my lunch today, so I'm hoping it won't be too much of a slog, but it does feel a bit like a slog. I'm sort of like, every time I've got to pick it up, I think. And I read some on my lunch yesterday, and I said to my colleague who I share an office with, I said, oh, it's hard work going to this. And she said, look, I'm not going to disturb you, just sit and read for a bit. And I actually finished my lunch early because I just couldn't be bothered to read it, which is not what you want, is it? So yeah, I hope the Patreon book clubbers have had a better experience than I. Anyway, I'm going to get back to this audiobook and all my shelling. Oh, that one's gone on the floor. I'll show you the blondies going in. They look good. Well, I mean, they haven't gone in the oven yet, but I'm quite pleased with the batter. It's got freeze-dried raspberries and pistachios in it. I hope it goes okay. I would just like to make one nice baked thing in my life, apart that isn't that Jack Monroe cake that I made literally every week throughout lockdown. I'm eating the batter now. Let's stick them in. Well, they look really good. They look really good. I haven't tasted it yet, obviously, but oh, pleased am I. My friends will be the judge later. I should get, I mean, 9 seems excessive, doesn't it? I won't be able to eat a ninth of that, but I'm really pleased. I'm going to serve them with a bit of ice cream on the side. I hope they're okay in the middle. I'm worried they're a bit dry, but we'll see, we'll see. Oh, hi. They went down quite well. I've really croaky throat where I've been talking loads. They were definitely less blondie and more cake. They're not sort of like, in my head, a blondie would be like a brownie and be sort of like dense and squidgy. And as you can see, these are definitely more cake-like, but tasty. Went very nice with ice cream. And if they were a bit dry, because they were with ice cream, I'm sure it's okay. So yeah, I've got 6 left now. I'll put them away. David's still not back from London. But he should be back soon. I'm going to put them in. Yeah. I'm going to go get ready for bed. Do I want to put these in here? I think I do. And I'll see you tomorrow for the last day of the reading vlog, I guess. Oh no, look, I've just picked that up and a big bit's fallen out underneath. Welcome to the end of the vlog, the reading vlog. I've ended it in the same dress I started it in. It's Friday evening. David is currently cooking me a 3-course meal. We've had the first course, which was cheese and pickle poppers. It's from a Big Zoo cookbook that Minnie got him for Father's Day. And then we're having Lebanese pizzas and a rainbow salad. No, a fattoush salad for Maine. And then he's made peanut butter and jelly cheesecake, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, so I'm just sitting here just relaxing in this gorgeous light. I finished 2 books today. So I finished an audiobook that I've been listening to on Libby called These Streets by Luann Goldie, who is also the author of Nightingale Point. I'm concerned that I might have already said that on there. Deja vu. Really enjoyed it, about gentrification of East London and a family having to move out of their family home because the area that they live in's become desirable and they're just basically forcing out everyone who's lived there for years. And their families and stuff like that. Family saga, great. Characters were really, really real, and the audiobook was great. Really enjoyed it. A pleasant surprise. I enjoyed Nightingale Point that she wrote, but this I found sort of like fun, although it's got like darker moments in there. Fun, and I love the way they talk to each other, and it felt really real, like I said, really real. And then I've literally just finished Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeleine Tien. Sadly, I didn't get on with this as well. It did improve for me towards the end, but like I've said already in this vlog, like, I just think there was too many things in here that I've no experience of or background knowledge of or anything like that, and it just, a lot of it was just too much for me. And I also felt like, I don't know, and this isn't the fault of the book, I guess, but I feel like this is a book that really required concentration, and I wasn't giving it the concentration it required because I wasn't enjoying it as much as I hoped I would. So yeah, I've finished that now, and we'll be talking about that for Cozy Reading Night. Not Cozy Reading Night, Patreon book club on Sunday. So if you're a patron of mine, tune in tonight for further thoughts. So yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to sit here and enjoy a bit more. I suppose I should pick up another book or something. I might just sit here and just relax for a bit. Like this, in my caftan. And then tonight, David and I haven't watched Neighbours for probably, like, I mean, maybe I watched it a little bit when I was a student. I think David and I went through a stage of watching it every night for a couple of weeks. My sister and her husband are mad about it, but it's the last ever episode of Neighbours tonight. So that's at 9, so we might tune in for that. We've started watching the Hunger Games films again, because neither of us have ever seen the last. David hasn't seen the last 2 and I haven't seen the last one. So we watched the first one, not last night, the night before. So we think we might watch the second one tonight. And we also would be quite interested in playing a board game. I wouldn't mind playing a bit of Dice Hospital. So that's the plan. Thanks for joining me on all of these lovely reading vlogs throughout the month of July. I've been enjoying doing it. There will be further reading vlogs coming up. That's a little tease of something that's happening, which I'm too frightened to say it's going to happen until it actually happens. So there will be more reading vlogs coming up. And yeah, I'll see you all again tomorrow for me August TBR. David's going to pick my TBR from these shelves. See you then. Bye!